All new tonight on the night team.
We need some more units over. Shots fired.
People seen here fleeing PRP's football field tonight after gunshots rang out on the school's campus during a game.
Students should go underneath the bleachers.
The latest on what led to the football field evacuation. Plus,
is that driver going to be here? Is that bus going to be here? You just don't know. So, I mean, do you sit here and wait and hope a driver shows up?
travelers stuck at the downtown Louisville Greyhound station, just waiting to get home. One of the many ongoing impacts from Hurricane Helene's devastation. And dramatic video capturing the moments a semi-truck caught fire on the Kennedy Bridge, sending a ball of flames into the air, leaving one person dead. Right now on the WHAS11 night team. We start tonight with breaking news. A shooting in the front of PRP High School tonight while a football game was happening at the same time. Two teenagers were shot, according to LMPD. One of them is in critical condition. You can see the scene that happened in the school's parking lot right here behind me. Our own Mason Hordisky was at the game when shots rang out, and we'll speak with him about what events unfolded. But first, we do have a crew on scene right now at PRP High School. WHAS 11 night teams Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Aspen Hester are at PRP right now. Alexandra, what is the latest on the shooting?
Alex, right. Police say at around 7:15 tonight, police arrived on scene of this shooting with two juvenile men confirmed injured. You can see the scene is still active right behind me, with a big portion of the parking lot here taped off with police tape. There's still a big police presence here, with several cruisers and personnel still active on site. Even Police Chief Paul Humphrey is on site here too. It happened right here at PRP High School in the front parking lot during the PRP male football game. The game was rescheduled to tonight because of Friday's weather. But take a look at this video we have from the moment it happened. Our Mason Hordisky was there filming the game when shots rang out. You could see people running, scrambling. It's a chaotic scene here. People are running for cover under the bleachers. Now, buses here are leaving with male high school players. Police say one victim is in critical condition with multiple gunshots, and the other victim has non-life-threatening injuries. School administrators said in an email to parents, quote, "Tonight, gunshots were fired in the parking lot during our football game at PRP High School. JCPS police officers at the game quickly responded to the parking lot, and LMPD was called. Many fans moved under the stands while players were escorted to the locker room for their safety. We are aware of at least one person being wounded. The game was suspended, and people were ordered to leave the premises once JCPS police and LMPD secured the area." And police say that they have good reason to believe the suspect fled the scene in the nearby residential area close by. LMPD's homicide unit is investigating the situation, and we'll have more details once they become available on WHAS11.com. Live in PRP, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11 night team, on your side.
All right, thank you, Alexandra. And just as we mentioned, Mason, you were there when the shots rang out, and we do want to talk to you about what you heard and saw. I mean, a scary scene for you and all of the families and football players involved.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, very scary. I left right from here from our 6:30 show to get up there to the Male and PRP football game. It already was well underway. Male had a 35-point lead, so there was a running clock going on, as is KHSA rule. With about 2:03 left in the game, player goes down for a prolonged period of time. It was around then when I myself just heard pops coming from the front of the school. Then chaos, people running away from that sound back towards what it felt like the field, the baseball field rather, over at PRP. Then on the PA announcer, got on the mic to tell players and fans to please get under the bleachers over back towards the football field. After that, I started to make my way towards the front of the school to see what was going on out in front of the parking lot, where we saw that heavy police presence, lots of ambulance, lots of crime scene tape. With talking just with one police officer that I saw near the crime scene, he said verbatim, somebody got shot. So, of course, just a very, very chaotic scene for a game that, again, like Alex mentioned, was rescheduled for everything with the weather that we had with Hurricane Helene.
Right.
Just a very scary moment, and even scarier that it's happening at a football game like this.
And hard to hear that someone was shot at a high school football game.
In general, just it's again, like our job as journalists sometimes is to be able to put these things into words. Being there and seeing that, it's hard to put into words just how scary something like that was.
And we just saw the footage too of the school buses taking the football players and the teams away from the high school.
Yes.
You said you saw that.
Yeah, after the ambulances started to clear out after medical got the victim out of there, Mail started to leave on their buses, get back to their high school. I actually ran into Mail's head coach Chris Wolf in the parking lot. I went up to him, I just said, hey, is everybody okay? Is everybody good? He said, yeah, they're on the buses, they're going back home. Again, just a very, very chaotic, I don't know any other word to describe it other than that scene there tonight. Just very, very scary overall.
Right. Well, glad you're here with us. Thank you, Mason. Appreciate you.
At this point, the water is about 28 to 30 feet, so it's way above flood stage. Several of the buildings, including the old train depot, which had been there since 1870s and was now a music place, that's gone.
These are the scenes from western North Carolina after Helene swept through, destroying dams and flooding the town. North Carolina officials are calling this biblical devastation. The storm has now been blamed for at least 84 deaths. That number just keeps rising. Crews are now working to restore power to millions across the southeast. ABC's Allison Cossack has the details.
Helene slammed Florida's Big Bend region late Thursday night, making landfall as a powerful Category 4 storm. In Steinhatchee, which took a direct hit, this seafood market, now a donation center. The owner says she feels helpless.
This is the third storm in a year. I don't know how much more we can take.
Miami-Dade Fire and Rescue is in Dixie County, helping with the recovery efforts. Millions across the South are still without power.
We're also seeing an increase in use of generators, so we like to remind everyone to never use generators indoors.
In the mountains of North Carolina, as much as 30 inches of rain fell. From above, you can see the devastation.
It's heartbreaking because along this river, we have a lot of wonderful stores, and we're going to be cleaning up a long time.
Asheville largely cut off by washed out roads, a lack of power, and no cell phone service. The city's water system severely damaged as well. Officials say they are working on getting residents the help they need.
My staff has been making every request possible to the state for support, and we've been working with every single organization that has reached out. My promise to you is that we are very close.
President Biden has approved disaster declarations for several states, freeing up federal resources to help with recovery efforts.
We've given them all everything we have. We're on the ground ahead of time, so we're working hard.
Similar devastation in Tennessee. Governor Bill Lee touring some of the hardest hit areas on Saturday. Buildings destroyed. Bridges and roadways crumbled. The remnants of Helene continue to bring rain to parts of the east. Those rains are light, but a flood watch was issued for parts of Virginia and West Virginia. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Today we spoke with Larry Ledford, who you heard from a few minutes ago. He's a former WHAS11 employee from North Carolina. In our conversation, Ledford told us it's nearly impossible to get into his hometown of Marshall, North Carolina. The main highway, which runs through the town from Tennessee, is completely washed out. Food supplies and fuel are having to be airlifted into the area. Ledford also tells us he lost someone he was connected with.
He refused to leave his home. Sadly, the water got so high that it took his home off the foundation. The home did go over the upper dam and basically just exploded, and they haven't been able to find his body. So that's one of those moments where when they tell you you need to evacuate, you should evacuate.
Tells us this is the worst flood in Marshall since 1916. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear announced today that Kentucky has sent an incident management team to North Carolina to assist in the recovery efforts. We also learned tonight that a Louisville Metro Safe supervisor and a dispatcher will be among the crew heading to North Carolina. LG&E has also been working to restore power here in Kentucky. The energy company said Helene impacted more than 205,000 customers, making this the fourth largest event for the utilities over the last 20 years. Some of the hardest hit areas are in eastern and central Kentucky, as well as Louisville. The heavy wind and rain downed nearly 1,500 wires and broke more than 100 poles. Right now, LG&E says more than 1,000 customers are still without power. The impacts of Hurricane Helene are impacting travel all over the region, including right here in the metro. Some travelers at the Greyhound terminal in downtown Louisville say they were waiting for hours, some even waiting for days for their bus to leave the station and take them home. The WHAS11 night teams Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Aspen Hester were there this afternoon as bus riders were looking for answers.
A rainy weekend in the metro, a result of Hurricane Helene that tore through America's southern region. Nashville native Andy Brown traveled to Louisville on a Greyhound bus on Friday. Now, days later, he's trying to get home.
There's buses sitting here, but no drivers, and there's no heads up on, hey, your trip is canceled or delayed or anything like that, I got a notification it was good to go, but other than that, nothing.
At the Louisville terminal on 12th and Broadway, riders reported waiting hours, and some even waiting overnight for a bus driver to arrive and get them home.
I mean, sitting here for 2 days, that's ridiculous. And obviously the facilities aren't great, they're nasty.
A Greyhound spokesperson says routes in the eastern U.S. are affected by Hurricane Helene's havoc. In a statement sent to WHAS11, Greyhound said in part, quote, due to the ongoing impacts and aftermath of Hurricane Helene, bus schedules across the eastern United States remain subject to changes, cancellations, and delays. The company said customers with canceled tickets can rebook or claim a refund, but per their terms and conditions, they aren't responsible for alternate travel, food, or lodging for weather-related scenarios.
The sad thing is most of the people that take Greyhounds, they don't have a car, they don't have a bunch of money, they can't fly, so they're at the mercy of this bus. It's the only way for them to travel.
This group is waiting for a ride to Atlanta, Georgia, going through Nashville, Tennessee. Their bus was scheduled for 2:20 Sunday afternoon, but ended up leaving around 5 p.m.
My heart goes out to these people because they're tired. They've been traveling and they're just tired and they don't have anywhere to sit or stay, and there's no Greyhound drivers, so what are they going to do?
Therese is a Louisville resident who stumbled across this scene on Sunday afternoon.
And I saw all these people, and I'm like, what's going on? But I caught the Greyhound plenty of times, but it never was like this.
The station was moved to a strip mall on Broadway in spring of 2023, and it was just supposed to be temporary. She thinks the station needs an upgrade, so when delays do happen, people can be more comfortable. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 night team, on your side.
The sheriff accused of shooting and killing a district judge in eastern Kentucky will be back in court this week. Mickey Steins is scheduled to be back in court on Tuesday for a preliminary hearing. Steins, who is the sheriff of Letcher County, is charged with murder after state police say he shot and killed District Judge Kevin Mullins in his chamber. State police say the two were arguing before the shooting. Governor Beshear has called on Steins to resign. However, the governor did indicate he would move quickly to remove him if Steins does not resign. One person is dead after a semi caught fire following a crash on the Kennedy Bridge. Dramatic video sent to us from a viewer's dash cam shows the moment the semi caught fire, sending a fireball straight into the sky. Police say the semi crashed into a concrete median just before 5 Saturday evening. LMPD says the driver was unable to escape the burning truck and died at the scene.